What's up, guys? Hashtag 48 Guys. Tomorrow, it's your boy Steven. We're going to talk Keilan Robinson in the transfer portal and now committed to Texas. Up on the baby with the horns. Let's do this. So, today we're going to just answer a bunch of questions that I've had a lot of viewers ask me lately, on Twitter, Instagram, and on YouTube on comments. And we've got a lot of them, but let's just get started on that, all right? Keilan Robinson, is he a 4-star or 5-star? I really don't know. I keep hearing different things, so I'm not quite understanding what that is or which to believe, but we're going to figure that out later on. I honestly want to say he's a 4-star who was hyped up to be a 5-star, but regardless, he has proven to do pretty good when he was on the grounds of Alabama. Now, he was being recruited by Mike Locksley, which is a big reason why I think he came to Texas, because Steve just came from Alabama, so he kind of has that tie-in right there. It's easy coming. He's listed at 190 pounds, 5'9", kind of short, but that's not a bad thing when you have the skill set speed he does. And I just recently seen he's bulked up a lot in this offseason over at Alabama, especially sitting out for COVID. Now, sitting out COVID all 2020, was that a good decision? I think yes. You look at Bajan, they're the same age, same recruiting grounds. Bajan did his thing, but then again, everybody's story is different. So besides that, also, don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, and hit that bell, because dinner is always ready. Now, if y'all don't notice, I am actually in my new house. We just moved, thank God. The old house was being flooded in by rain. Another story though, right? I'm actually in the laundry room to my garage. Our videos are going to be being shot in my garage soon enough, but for the meantime, my garage is just packed with fishing, kayaking, and everything else, my boat stuff, just so you have to bear with me for a week or so until I can get my new studio really set up, and then it's going to be live. You're going to love it. But anyway, Keilan Robinson, I'm going to call him K Robinson, because I keep hearing Keilan and Keilan, and just a little different ways of saying it. So I'm just going to say K Robinson. It makes it easier for everybody. All right, he played at St. John's High School in Washington, D.C. Now, I haven't really heard of a lot of football up in Northeast. I'm from Texas, obviously, so I know Texas high school footballs along with a few other across the country, but that one just doesn't, for me, ring a bell. But obviously, he did something there to make and get people's attention, obviously. I believe his main tangibles from watching all of his highlight in high school and seeing some of his like the spring game, Bama and other stuff like that, practice field. I see he's a very dynamic player, very dynamic. He seems to do multiple things. And just, he's not a one-style back. He can do a lot of different things, and very quick runner. I mean, he's fast on his feet. Get him an open field, he's gone. Especially in one-on-one situation where safety's trying to get him, it's just not working. But good footwork too, man. I mean, seeing his footwork, boy, he makes people miss. He doesn't have to rely on that speed. He can sit there and juke left, right, spin around you. Sometimes go right through you. It just all depends. And the fact that he can catch the ball is a plus. I mean, we really need a back that can do that. Having a running back that can help us in the passing game is very beneficial for us right now, especially trying to find our identity on the offensive line. But regardless about that, his ability to do something after the catch is also a big plus, because a lot of our receivers don't have that right now, and we're trying to find our identity in the receiver corps. So having a running back that can do that is going to be a plus. And one of the questions I've actually been getting asked a lot is he going to be moved to slot because of the amount of running back stardom we have right now? And you look at Jordan Whittington, he moved to receiver, to slot, and I'm not sure where he's going to be placed now. I want to say he might be on the outside, but he could still be slot. But regardless, do you think they might do that? I mean, leave your comments on that, because I really would like to know, because I think that he shouldn't, if you ask me, the ones who are asking, but you just don't know. I mean, you don't. You know, this is Texas, they do all kinds of things. It's not the Tom Herman era, you know, but I feel like Steve Sarkisian, I think Steve will keep him in as a running back. I mean, I just don't see why he wouldn't. Now, on to that, sitting out COVID last year, man, let's just talk COVID for a second. Just not trying to get off subject, but I mean, it has affected a lot of people. So, you know, prayers out to all those families out there who are actually affected by it. My family's been blessed. I've only caught in one case, I think, and it was done and over with. You know, they got their shots and took care of them. They were better. But I know a lot of people out there have lost loved ones to that. You know, my heart goes out to y'all. Anyway, besides that, our offense, I mean, like, how does he fit? I mean, is he going to be a third string, or is he going to be a second string? Because I really feel he's better than Gabe Watson and Daniel Young. And Daniel Young, can you need some help, buddy? And anyway, I kind of lost track of where I was there. Well, besides that, let me get on to the next question that we had from our followers. And that actually was, okay, that brings me right back to where we were. What did Gabe and Daniel Young get from this? I mean, do you see them transferring? I mean, because that's what I'm getting in my questions. Do you see Gabe and Young transferring, at least one of them? Because of now the depth we have at running back, it's just, you don't see them two brothers starting. It just doesn't seem very likely in our future. But, man, I mean, I don't know about that one. I'd say yes, honestly, if both of them, because this is their last year, and I mean, you're not going pro, you want to play, you may love the university. You know, Gabe's might be a little different than Young, because Young's been here since 2017, but still, I'm not sure about that one, you know. I'd like to know, I would like to know what they actually decide to do. But anyway, on to my next question. That is a good question. I like that one. Does he take Rashawn's spot? Okay, that's actually a question from my uncle, who is our other host on this show. Be patient, he will be here. He is having a little difficulties getting a computer. He has 2 daughters and a son, so you have to forgive him. You know, there are other things more important than just our channel, you know what I mean? But anyway, yes, does he take Rashawn's spot at second string? And that is a good question, because I mean, can he early on, before the season starts, show what Rashawn has shown, especially with Rashawn's just his natural ability to be very almost crazy when he's playing. He's very wild. He's up and going. He loves the game. You see it when he plays. I mean, that guy loves that game of football, boy. I tell you that. And with that being said, no, I do not think he takes Rashawn's spot. I think he sticks in third string, and through the season goes on, we'll see. But I mean, Rashawn has already established so much in Texas already, and to that, actually, to go off subject for a second, I still believe that Rashawn Johnson should be a quarterback. He is not, I mean, why? This is the perfect scenario for him to go back. Why is it not? I mean, if y'all have a different opinion on that, let me know. But honestly, he should have a really good start at being a starter at quarterback, regardless of what Casey and Hudson are throwing right now, because what they're throwing right now isn't as good as we were hoping after seeing both of them this last season. A little bit we saw Card and the Alamo Bowl with Thompson, but regardless, I think that would make the quarterback battle a very interesting one, because three heads is crazier than two. It's just that much more minds on the field, and I think he would be a serious computer for the starting position. I mean, if he can switch to running back and be that good, then I mean, the sky's the limit. I mean, it just is. I mean, you can go from being a quarterback only playing. I mean, y'all know the story. Only playing a little bit of running back way back in elementary, what, 6th grade maybe, and now you're looking at him high school, middle school, a killer, and as a quarterback, dual threat quarterback, top in Texas, killing it out of high school, and he comes into college and has to be a running back because of the lack in pathetic recruiting job Tom Herman did in the running back room outside of Ingram and Bijan. That in my opinion was it. And then they have to do that. I mean, shout out to the brother for doing that, because that really saved us in a serious time of the season. But I still feel like it wasn't meant for him. He needed to be a quarterback. He needs to. It's just, I mean, he said he's comfortable there, and if he is, all love for the brother doing what he loves. He's playing the game, the sport he grew up loving. I mean, that's more than a lot of us can say for ourselves. A lot of people don't even play after high school. But for him to do that, that is amazing. And if he went back to quarterback and he won the starting job, could you imagine what kind of a player he would be? I mean, under Steve Sarkisian's offense, it would be unbelievable, because he's done shown what he can do at a position he barely even knows. For him to come back and do something like that would be outstanding. And actually, speaking of, I just got off of work, so I had to get me a few to drink, because always got to get that little confident booster to do these videos. It just the tension and nervousness of doing this for the first time and doing these videos, always is a little stressful. Those of you who are successful on these channels, y'all already know, we all struggle, unless you're, of course, Texas Homer, who just came out of the freaking blue, the left field back in January with that Bijan video, and just, boy, stole the spotlight from the rest of us. I mean, love to you, Homer. Y'all go like, subscribe, and hit his bell, because he is amazing. That brother puts out some serious content. And you go look back at our other guys, at respective Texas football talk, Texas Longhorns football, RJ Young, and Texas Platinum, all these brothers who are just putting out great content. We are all coming together as a whole and changing the world of sports, especially news-wise, because you're able to get it from us direct, people who are like you. We're not millionaires and in a studio sitting here doing this, from their opinion. You're getting a guy at your level with your knowledge, his opinion, that is more relatable than anything, honestly. But I have a special guest tonight, and I've been waiting to bring him out. Give me just 2 seconds. I'm going to go get him, because I guarantee you his little lazy ass is out front smoking a cigarette. But he is one and only my cousin, Robert Gatlin. Now let me go get that boy. Sorry guys, he's actually on the shitter. He'll be here in just a second. I'm actually kidding. He is not on the shitter, but he will be here in just a second. What's that, honey? What do you need? I don't know. I don't know what you do with your stuff. Anyway, back at it. Back to where I was talking while we're waiting on him, Roshan Johnson at quarterback. I think he would thrive, man. I mean, the brother, if you watch his tapes, he was just, you know, if I could compare him to anybody, it would have been Tua. I think, and then that being Steve as coach to it before, I think he would thrive in our offense on that basic style of, you know, getting to your playmakers, but not complicating things and getting too lost where you almost forget about your playmakers and you know the whole fact that, you know, Steve Sarkisian's receivers never catch the ball at a stopping motion. I love that fact. You go look at all of his games. Me and Walker actually watching the USC game, and in that USC game, you watch the entire game. There's never a pass caught with the receiver still. They're always in motion. And I actually love that. You know, it's that all gas, no brakes. If y'all don't actually see, I got all gas, no brakes right up here. You know, there's old Bevo right there up in the middle, sitting in front of the old. I believe that is a '49 Cadillac, same year, maybe edition that Hank Williams Jr. passed away in. And I got, of course, Jacoby Jones's glove right here, my favorite player, B.J. Foster. And then you got the Alamo Bowl and the Sugar Bowl up there, along with a couple of autographs, who is also B.J. Foster's autograph. While I'm sitting here, Robert! Robert! You gotta love it. Cousins, boy, I tell you what.
Hey, it's really blurry.
It's alright.
Okay, whatever.
Want to fix it? Let's see. Is that better? Oh yeah, we're good.
Alright, so what's up, guys?
What's up? This is my cousin Robert. Shout out. Throw what you sipping on? Sipping on a Shiner Buck. Sipping on Bud. Having a view after work. Getting it in though, talking football. So, you want to actually pull up your phone real quick and let's pull up that 247 app, because you know we're actually seeing some pretty interesting shit during his transfer and his own pass from high school and his own recruiting process. There was a lot of big names actually after this brother. I actually need to shave while I'm thinking about it, you know. Facial hair just looks ratty.
Yep, I was gonna shave my mustache today.
You know, we're usually more cleaned up than this, but you know, we're both going through moves right now, so it is what it is. Yeah, I actually want to see where his little, his whole history that you had pulled up earlier, where he was going through. Where's his journey begin? Ooh, see, that's three rows, people, that we're having to get through his journey. I mean, the recruiting base is sick right now.
There's actually two, but started out, he got an offer from Maryland 2016, then Michigan State, North Carolina, Rutgers, Penn State. Then Virginia Tech, Ole Miss, Temple, Indiana, Michigan, Arizona, Alabama, West Virginia, Florida State, and then shortly after Georgia, USC. Shortly after that, he committed and enrolled into Alabama.
Which brings us to Mike Locksley. Mike Locksley getting him was big because the fact of the Steve Sarkisian move, we weren't predicting that for the future, you know? I mean, I didn't see that coming. Nobody did. Herman getting fired that day after, I think it was the 3rd of January, 2nd and 3rd, 2-3 days after the Alamo Bowl.
Yeah, I'm not sure when it was, really, to be honest. I just know it was shortly after the Alamo Bowl.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy because, I mean, he won it, and we'd already been hearing from Chris Del Conte that he was basically going to be, he was going to keep his job. He wasn't on the hot seat after, you know,
he was his guy.
He was his guy. You know, he was the one who got hired. You know,
came as a major surprise.
Yeah, major surprise. You know, I just got the news on the sports channel, but my uncle called me because I guess his channel just came up a few seconds before mine. You know how that time phrase goes for some people's TVs. Anyway, it was pretty shocking. But to get Steve Sarkisian, how did you feel about that at first when you first hired him? Were you as excited as you were when all the people followed him?
Yeah.
You were excited as you did?
It was definitely a nice hire. I mean, I liked Herman. I liked Herman a lot, but I mean, all gas, no brakes sounds a lot better than 1-0.
Yeah, I'll give you that. All gas, no brakes does sound a lot better than 1-0. Yeah, honestly, I think that the Herman fire was necessary, especially after the Iowa State game. Being at that one, me and my uncle walking out of that game, we're both like, you know, we can't even have the man's back anymore. There's no holding any wall to protect him, you know, from those who criticize. You know, it was over at that point. But when CDC said he was going to keep him, we thought he was going to keep him. But here we are now. We got Steve Sarkisian in this new offense. I actually want to get into PK. You want to talk a little PK and some stuff I've been hearing about some PK? So I hear that PK, and this is off of Texas Homer, if y'all don't already follow him, PK actually, along with another coach, is the inventor of the 3-3-5.
Really?
Yes.
I had no idea.
Yeah, back in the late 90s. And
that's crazy.
Because me and Henry talked about it, Henry's style of football in the 90s to mine and yours in the mid to late 2000s, you went from straight running the ball, and my uncle would tell you, they ran like 5 or 6 on the line on defense. You had 2 corners and 1 safety. You know what I mean? Like they were prepared for the run. Then you fast forward the time to our time in ball, which was still 10 years ago, give or take, and we were running like PK was, you know, a lot more DBs in the back. You know, it was not this old school style of running football. And to hear that our coach is one that's involved in fitting that is pretty cool.
Yeah, and sometimes really you need more speed than power when it comes to defense.
Yeah.
You got to be able to catch the people and stop them.
Especially the way these offenses are. Even the NFL is just getting past crazy nowadays. It's like PlayStation video games. I'm telling you. it gets pretty wild, man. Let's talk about one of the questions they had earlier, and we're going to bring it back up. Oh, we actually didn't ask this question. This was our star highlighted question of the night. What about the dreads? Yeah. What about Keilan having the dreads? I mean, how many legends do we have with dreads?
Yeah.
Endless. I mean, it doesn't end with the dreads, brothers. I mean, it gets. You go to Ricky to I don't know. I want to say Ricky was the first, because I think I actually remember a story hearing about Max saying he needed to cut him, and he was like, "No, I ain't playing. I gotta cut him."
I do remember that, hearing that story. But yeah, I think he was gonna have the dreads.
Yeah.
I mean, he may not legitimately grow them out, but I feel like him and you know, it's the Robinson duo.
It is the Robinson duo.
Robinson and Keilan Robinson, and I mean, I feel like it's probably could potentially be one of the best duos, running back duos Texas has seen in a long time.
Yes, we're digging the dreads, y'all. I mean, getting a lot of players. I mean, even BJ's got his grown out a little bit. Just saying, but bringing up that, excuse me, y'all. Bring that up. Where does that leave Roshan as second string? Because I just brought up, if Roshan moves back to quarterback, where he has a good competing chance against Hudson Card and Casey Thompson, where does mean, do you think he's still
I mean, I personally don't know. I feel like Keilan's going to come in and compete for the number 2 spot for sure. And I don't know if he's gonna. He'll probably have significant playing time, but I don't feel like he would take Bajan's spot.
No.
But I do. I personally, I don't know how. But Roshan will need to do what he feels like he needs to do. He's already been switched from quarterback to running back, so I mean, I don't know. I just feel like transferring back to quarterback is gonna, hurt his progress.
He's already too deep in.
Yeah, kind of
too deep in,
yeah.
especially at a college level. It's way different than when you're in high school.
Right.
Completely different ball game. Yeah. And
I don't feel like that would be maybe not necessarily in his best interest, but if he wants to go back to quarterback and compete in that room, then that's what he wants to do. But I just feel like it would, kind of slow down his process.
Okay. I got one for you then. What do you think about Texas Homer's video? Quandre Diggs saying that Texas needs some thugs. You think that statement's true?
Yep.
Yep.
For sure.
For sure.
You gotta have those people that just, excuse my language, but just don't give a fuck.
Thank you. You do need those players who just don't give a
not a whole team of them, but
at least one in every side of the ball. You want to go at least 2 or 3 each side of the ball.
yeah.
Maybe one in each. Better yet said, one in every other position group. One in every other position group.
Yeah.
It gives you a little odd and evens there, but you still got a little thug here and there to give some checking when it needs to be done. Kind of like old boy who played for Texas under Muschamp. I want to say Corey Redding. I'm sorry if I can't think of the name off the top of the head. The one who threatened to whoop everyone's ass in the locker room if they didn't play their hearts out in the Fiesta Bowl with Colt McCoy after not getting into the national championship against Oklahoma, which was a heartbreak for all Texas fans. But what do you think is going to happen with us playing Alabama in 2022 and 2023 with Steve Sarkisian? Is he going to be the is he going to be the first assistant to beat Saban?
I don't want to say yeah, but that's something Nick Saban is. He's thrived in. There hasn't been a single assistant that's beat him yet. That's went off and did their own thing as a head coach, but at the same time, on any given Saturday.
Any given Saturday, I love that old saying, man. It's Texas. That's I'm sorry, it's college football for you right there. That's finest. Actually, I have another subject for us to get into real quick. I wanted to get into the fact that Jalen Blue, sorry if I'm not saying his name right, Jalen Blue, is sitting out his senior year, which now there's skeptics that he could be actually playing his senior year, but for the most part, he's sitting out his senior year in high school to fully focus on playing college in Texas, which is unheard of before. It just seems like every day that high school players in high school is turning more into the college environment, and college is starting to turn more into an NFL environment, especially with the likeliness of players being paid. Now, that being said, do you think college is turning into an NFL-style environment because of the players' likeliness and the way that the recruiting is now turning into a freaking transfer? It's like being traded in the NFL. It's exactly what it's like now. It's like you just trade left and right.
And whenever all this paying the players stuff starts coming into play, really players are gonna start going places that they don't necessarily. There's no heart in it necessarily to me anymore. You're going for the money. You're going who can pay you better. And that's not why I've always watched college football. It's not why I've always liked it. It's the heart, it's the tradition, it's the.
Yeah. But
yeah,
that is true.
Now everything revolves around money nowadays, so when you can get paid more to go here, but you love that school, why would you?
That
why would you
cream
rather?
crash was everything around me.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. Man, that's crazy.
You know, with just paying players stuff coming into play and whatnot, you know, us being the NCAA football game fans as we are, playing NCAA on its consoles for as long as we have, it's nice, but at the same time, like I said, it just feels like there's no more heart and tradition in it, I guess.
Yeah.
You'd say.
It really has just turned into a cream style environment, you know, cash rules everything around me. You know what I mean? But that being said, I think Texas is gonna thrive on that opportunity.
Yeah, because Texas is like the second or third most valuable college in the United States. Oh, it is number one. I thought there was somebody that. Okay.
I think it's only because of the fact of our all the billionaire sponsors and all the
Celebrities and whatnot.
celebrities. I mean, you got all that oil field money. I mean, that comes in. It's pretty unlike any other school has the capability of having. You know, I was actually surprised. You know, thinking about time and history. Of course, Texas was already something by then. Texas Tech wasn't. But the fact that Texas Tech is West Texas, what do you think they'd be getting all the oil field money?
Yeah, but
They're
I don't care. I don't care how much money. I don't care how much money Texas Tech had. They're still Texas Tech, and they are still the little sister of Texas.
Yeah, they're not considered little brothers.
No, I consider A&M or even TCU the little brothers.
Well, TCU's more like a cousin to me.
Yeah.
TCU, because they're coming from another conference. You know, they're like a cousin. Yeah, they're not. They're coming from your immediate household. You know, they're coming from another house, another district. So.
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
But I'd have to say A&M. I would consider a little brother.
Brother for sure.
Or Texas Tech.
And then Oklahoma is that fucking kid you just don't like in school. You just want to, I mean, just wail one of these on. You know what I mean?
Hey. It's 12:13 in the morning and Oklahoma still sucks.
Oklahoma still sucks. Yeah, go hit that like, subscribe, and don't forget to follow our channel, man, because we will always be bringing this great content out of us. We're always going to have a ball. We're always going to be funny and laughing. But we're going to be wrapping this up here pretty shortly, but we're going to finish with a few more questions. I want to throw it back to a question I wanted to ask you before you got here. What would you think about him moving the slot? Like how we did, because of the fact that we already have.
You're speaking on Keilan Robinson right now, right?
Yes, because Jalen Blue already coming in. We have all these. Stan Drayton is doing a fabulous job recruiting running backs like anything I've ever heard of before in history of recruiting. And with that being said, we're really hurting the receiver corps. And Jordan Whittington's already done it. I mean, he's already multiple when he was in high school, but when he got here, he was a running back. He swapped to receiver to help us out.
You know, I
think that'd be beneficial if he did that? Or should he stay where he's at?
I don't know. Really, it would have to. You'd have to see how his route run skills and his. I know he can catch the ball at least out of the backfield, anyways. In the highlights that I had watched so far, there are some nice, snatches out of the air from out of the backfield. But I don't, you don't know how his route running skills are. How.
Can he catch the deep ball?
Yeah, can he plant his foot to a complete stop from,
Full speed.
like on the hook routes and the inside routes? I mean, you gotta.
Can he get separation from the corner?
True.
Can you get that separation? It's easy to get separation from a linebacker who's pursuing you, but a corner that runs a 4.4 to 4.6, it's a whole other story.
And can you play those hand games with the corners too?
Exactly, that press release right there. You got to play them hand games.
I don't know. You just have to put him out there and see. Put him whenever he comes on the campus. Put him in that rotation. I mean, if that's something they look into, anyways, it's just talk right now.
Yeah.
For us.
Yeah, of course.
But
it's all just talk for now. We gotta wait and see, of course. Man, after what you saw with the confusion of the 4-star and 5-star thing going on, what would you rate it?
A high 4-star.
Yep, same. High 4. I'd say a high 4. I'd say he's not quite a 5, but he definitely showed enough.
Yeah, I mean he's got potential for sure. And watching some of his highlights, even back to his high school days, I mean, he bounces off people. Not only does he bounce off people, he's got that speed and he's got that agility and elusiveness to be able to outrun them and get free. Sees the holes and hits them hard, north and south running. I mean, he's a good running back. But I don't know if I'd consider him a 5-star.
Fair enough. Definitely did not come out of high school with the same statistics that Bijan Robinson did. For sure not. And after Bijan seeing his year, I mean, even his injury prevention, that's like game style right there. You know, when you're playing college football in the game, you know, that respective, you know what I'm talking about. I hit that all the time. That old NCAA, you know, you're sitting there creating your player. You want to always put your stamina and your injury to 99 all the way, because you don't want to get tired. Because when you get tired, you get hurt. When you get hurt, you can't play. And so you put that at 99, and that's what that is right there.
Yeah, because you want to be able. I mean, you want to be on the field at all times.
At all times. Yeah.
Hell, I know whenever I played, even back in junior high and high school, I wanted to be on the field. Offense, defense, special teams, everything. I wanted to be out there.
You want to be out there. You want to play. Absolutely. I agree.
I played until I died. Or I felt like I was going to die.
So who's your favorite player?
Man, you know, that's a sore subject for me right now because currently my favorite player would be Sam Elliott, but
Yeah.
he's no longer in Texas. I mean, he will always be a Longhorn, but he's no longer here with us at Texas. So, I mean, really, I don't know.
I gotta go for
Yeah, probably. Honestly, probably with what we saw last year from Bijan, it has to be Bijan right now. Or Casey Thompson. Because what he did in that bowl game last year, the second half of that bowl game last year, was mind blowing.
Especially that little juke off
off
that. I can't remember if it was a defensive end or a linebacker that slipped in there, but he was just about to get Casey. Casey got a little forward and back step, and then boom, hit it right to Keilan, I believe, right there on the side, right there, just perfect. Couldn't defend it. I mean, it was undefendable.
I mean, I know Casey Thompson. I knew Casey Thompson was good. I knew he had skills. I knew he.
And
was,
RJ Young, we know you were all on that boy, and we're so glad we were able to steal him. You know, much love, brother, but we got him from you.
But yeah, I did not expect him to come out and ball like that at all. I mean, he came out and balled. Came out and did the damn thing. It went what? Wasn't it like 23 to something whenever he came out, or maybe 28? I think it was like 21 actually. When he scored 3 touchdowns. Casey Thompson came out in the bowl game.
It was, I want to believe it was
blew
honestly
up to
like 17-10 or 17-14.
Something like that. We weren't ahead by a lot at all. And then Casey Thompson came out on the field out of nowhere.
It was a blowout game.
Yeah.
But that second half, it was a blowout game.
Yeah.
Oh man, Alfred Collins one-hand catch. I mean,
Oh, I know.
oh, I can't remember who it was. I want to say it was. What's our boy's name? Somebody in the defense, maybe Okafor. Back in the day, one of them commented and was like, "In my entire NFL career, at the same position, and I've did so many years in the NFL, have I ever had a more athletic play as this guy right here?"
Yeah.
Like that.
Throwing
That
his
was
hands
sick.
up. I'll take that.
Boom, just took it. Yeah, that was great. That really was great. Man. We're gonna wrap it up with one more question. Let me think. Let's get something going. How about this? What do you think the because I've already made my prediction on Fanatic Perspective. You can go check theirs out. And I made my prediction. They put it up there, 11-1 with the conference championship win and a playoff appearance loss is my prediction for the 2021 season. What is yours?
Man, personally, I'd like to say 14-0 with the fucking, with the national championship win. But that's because I believe Bernard is what I want. But honestly, sounds like you're right on the right track. But man, I don't know.
And what happens if we go 8-4?
We go 8-4. I don't even know what to do.
Don't put that demon on me, Ricky Bobby.
No.
Don't put that demon on me.
No.
Yeah.
I feel like if we go 8-4, I feel
okay.
like we're cursed.
Here's one I've been hearing a lot lately. I mean, I have seen it on Instagram,
Well, hey,
Facebook,
hold on
social
one second
media.
before you keep going with that. My prediction would be 11-1, and I would think that with that being said, our one loss would probably be Oklahoma in the regular season. And we beat them in the conference championship. If Oklahoma goes to the conference championship, I don't know what they're looking like really this year. I haven't been paying attention to them, but most likely that's what I feel like would happen, because that's typically, if we're gonna have one loss, I would rather it be to Oklahoma so that we can come back and stomp them in the conference championship game.
Okay.
Because and on top of that, if that's how that typically is gonna go, because it's Texas and Oklahoma, the two powerhouses of the Big 12. The Big 12 is full of good teams, but the two powerhouses being Oklahoma and Texas, typically that's how the conference championship's gonna be most of the time. I feel like sometimes, most of the time, it's not gonna be we beat Oklahoma and we beat Oklahoma, or Oklahoma beats us and Oklahoma beats us. It's gonna be, it's gonna be every year. We're typically so close in talent that it can go either way. It can go either way, just like it wasn't the 2019 season or 2019.
Played them twice.
Yeah, 2018.
Played them twice.
Yeah, because we Cameron Dicker kicking that field goal at the end of the game.
Earthquake! Yeah.
He made it. Anyways.
The freshman.
Red River Immortality. Yeah. So, and then that conference championship game we lost. So heartbreaking.
So,
anyways, what you were saying?
Yeah, what happens, and I've been seeing this question a lot, asked, answered, emphasized on every social media platform out there. What happens if we go 0-2 to start the season? And it's because everyone keeps saying that the first game is the first game, and it's not a normal cupcake game you're getting, and there's a chance.
Who do we play first?
I don't remember the names. I had a little bit. I want to say Louisiana Tech, Arkansas State. Either way, point is that first game, which you would think is a cupcake game, they have like 11 starters returning on defense and like 9 starters returning on offense. So that cupcake game ain't gonna be. Yeah, exactly. That's a whole new staff. Yeah, that's not gonna be a cupcake game. And then you have Arkansas the week after, who is our rival, SEC, which we've already shown that we can fucking whoop that SEC ass with Georgia and Missouri. But let it be known, if we lose 0-2 like that, that sharp minus will be might be Jaws bait. I'm just saying. Don't put that juju on me.
Yeah, you better stop that.
Don't put that demon on me, Ricky Bobby.
It's Louisiana Raging Cajuns.
There you go. And they're
then,
returning like a stupid amount of starters, boy.
And then Arkansas, and then Rice for the first 3 non-conference games.
Yeah, we will be there. First game of the season.
Hey, and Louisiana's last 5 games, they won every one of them. They're on a winning streak.
Yeah, well, Louisiana will be there. And I want to say, what's our next home game after Louisiana? Because I want to say we play Arkansas at Arkansas.
Yeah, we do. It'd be Rice.
Okay, Rice is at night, right?
Yep.
Okay, y'all. First game of the season, me and my uncle, and hopefully my cousin will be there. And that first game of the season is going to be the first with the New South end zone officially built. Now, that being said, I have tickets for that planned because I want the first game of the season. But my uncle puts up a darn good point. He wants the game to the Rice